You know that feeling. Working hard, doing everything the right way, but still feeling stuck. Like no matter what you do, the system is rigged against you.
It's not just a feeling, it's reality for a lot of people. That bootstrap narrative, total myth. It ignores all the barriers that people face.
Exactly. Like we're all supposed to pretend that success is only about individual effort, when we know that's not the whole story. So today we're diving into some unconventional strategies for breaking free. Let's be honest, some of them might be controversial.
It's about understanding the real rules, the ones they don't teach you in school. No get-rich-quick schemes. This is about getting smart and resourceful.
Exactly. And, fair warning, this is going to be some tough love. No sugarcoating here. Calling out the BS and giving you tools to make a change.
Empowering yourself not with platitudes, but with actual strategies, even if they're a little outside the lines of what's acceptable.
Okay, so
Mhm.
who is this for? Who are we talking to?
Anyone who feels like the system is working against them. Young people starting out, no professional experience, folks stuck in dead-end jobs, people working their tails off but barely making ends meet, anyone without a fancy degree or the right connections.
So basically, if you've ever felt like the deck is stacked against you, this one's for you.
Tired of the hamster wheel. Tired of being told to just work harder when the playing field is so uneven. Recognize the advantages some people have and find ways to level up, even if you gotta bend the rules a bit.
Okay, so the real problem, this rugged individualism myth, is holding so many people back.
This idea you have to do everything on your own, that success is all individual effort. It's a dangerous illusion. Ignores connections, resources, inherited wealth.
It's not just about wealth, though. Access. Access to networks, mentorship, people who can vouch for you. How many jobs need professional references?
Right, and if you don't have those connections already, it feels impossible, like a gatekeeper keeping certain people out, no matter how talented or hardworking they are.
So enough doom and gloom. Solutions. This is where it gets interesting and maybe a little uncomfortable. We're talking outside the box, being resourceful, even if it pushes those acceptable boundaries.
Not endorsing every tactic, but presenting them as examples, a different mindset, challenge the status quo, level the playing field.
One strategy, it really pushes the boundaries. Strategic resume lies. Before anyone freaks out, not talking about making up entire work histories.
It's reframing, taking what you have done, unpaid, informal, whatever, and turning it into something that looks like a professional asset.
Okay, let's say you've been taking care of your younger siblings, managing schedules, organizing activities, keeping the household running.
Project management, organizational skills, multitasking, problem solving every day. Don't underestimate that.
Translate those experiences into language employers get. Instead of babysitting, think childcare provider or family operations manager.
Showcase your skills wherever you got them. Traditional resumes miss the resourcefulness people develop in tough situations.
Not just resumes either, leveraging personal references, even if they're not professional in the usual way.
Think about it. A neighbor who's seen you help with repairs. A family friend who knows your work ethic. That's valuable insight.
Could be a teacher, mentor, community leader, anyone who can vouch for your skills and personality, even outside a traditional work setting.
Expanding what a good reference means, it's not always titles and corporate connections. It's finding people who can authentically speak to your strengths.
This next one might seem radical. Stick with me. Building a barter economy in your community.
Money isn't the only currency. Trade skills, services, goods even. A safety net that goes beyond the traditional financial systems.
Imagine trading cooking skills for someone's handyman services, tutoring a child in exchange for childcare.
Recognizing the value everyone brings. Finding ways to support each other outside the usual marketplace.
Ties into community collaboration, too. We don't have to do this alone. Carpooling, sharing meals. Simple, but they reduce costs and build connections.
Our grandparents, great-grandparents did this all the time, out of necessity. Now it's a strategic choice. Navigating a system that's more and more expensive and individualistic.
Stronger together, right?
Yeah.
Especially facing systemic challenges.
It's not just surviving, it's thriving. Reclaiming your agency, your power, shaping your own destiny.
The system might be rigged, but we're not powerless. We can create our own opportunities, our own networks, our own paths to a better future.
And that's incredibly empowering. It really flips the script on how we think about success, right?
Yeah, it's like, follow the rules, play it safe, but the game's rigged. We need a hack, almost.
Exactly. Not in like a malicious way, more like understanding the unwritten rules, the stuff they don't tell you, and then using those to your advantage.
So it's all about connections, references, We got to get creative about building those, even if they're not quote-unquote professional.
And that's where community is huge. Tapping into that,
Mm.
age-old thing, supporting each other, a
Yeah.
modern village, right?
We talked about those examples. Carpooling, sharing meals, things our grandparents did out of necessity. But now it's a strategic choice, right? In a system that's so expensive, so isolating.
It's like taking back control. Not by fighting it head-on, but creating this parallel system. Support, resourcefulness.
And for me, that's the biggest thing here, empowerment. Not waiting for an opportunity, creating your own within your community with the resources you have.
Think about it. Those traditional markers, degrees, titles, the networks, those aren't the only way to a better life.
That's so freeing, especially when we've been told, follow the rules, that's how you get ahead. This is like, no, make your own rules. The game's rigged, so play it smarter.
It is kind of rebellious, isn't it? Rejecting the status quo, finding new ways to thrive, even when the odds are against you.
It is a little rebellious. Like,
Yes.
this is born out of necessity. If the traditional paths are blocked, we got to find alternative routes. That's where real innovation happens.
Exactly, that resourcefulness.
So what does this mean for our listeners? What can they do with this?
Don't underestimate yourself. Look around. What skills do you have? Connections you can leverage? What can you offer your community? That's how you build your own breakout strategy.
It's challenging those limiting beliefs that keep us stuck. We have way more power than we think.
And it's about community. Stronger together, right? Supporting each other, creating a system that works for everybody, not just the people at the top.
It's a message of hope and resilience. We're not alone in this.
Absolutely not.
As we wrap up this part of the deep dive, one question for you. What's one small step you can take today to start building your own WN breakout strategy? It doesn't have to be huge. Just something to move you in the right direction.
Sometimes the smallest steps lead to the biggest breakthroughs.
We'll be back in part 3 with more examples, practical tips. So stay tuned. Back for part 3 of the deep dive. We've been talking unconventional strategies, breaking free from that stuck feeling. Now let's get into some examples. Bring it all home.
Yeah, seeing it in action makes it click sometimes.
Okay, so you're young, no formal work experience, but you've been helping with the family business. Inventory, customers, online orders, whatever.
Yeah.
How do you put that on a resume?
Reframe it instead of just helped out, right? You're a customer service representative. Communication, problem-solving skills, or handling finances. Assisted with bookkeeping, inventory management, boom, organizational skills, numbers, you got it.
Taking those everyday things and making them professional.
Exactly. Not lying, just highlighting. Good skills are good skills no matter where you got them.
Personal references. Some people hesitate to use family or friends, but we talked about why that can be so important.
It's true, though. Who knows your work ethic better? Someone who's seen you handle stuff in your family, your community. Maybe not formal, but it says a lot about you.
Even neighbors, mentors, right? Anyone who can speak to your skills, your personality. Doesn't have to be a work setting.
Exactly. Broadening the definition of a good reference. Sometimes it's not about the title, it's about that authentic voice saying, hey, this person's got it.
All right, let's go back to the barter economy. I know it sounds kind of out there, but the potential is huge, especially for communities where resources are tight.
Creating that support system outside the regular money stuff, so smart.
We talked about childcare for tutoring, cooking for home repairs.
Yeah.
Valuable stuff exists beyond just dollars and cents, right?
And it builds community, too. Imagine that, a neighborhood where people are constantly trading their skills, their talents, real interdependence, taking care of each other.
Tapping into that older way of doing things when people relied on each other.
And in a world where so many people are struggling, that kind of community approach could be a game changer.
Bringing it back to empowerment. So easy to feel powerless with all these big challenges, but we have more agency than we think.
It's about the resources we do have, our skills, our people, our communities, and using those in creative ways, breaking free.
Challenging the status quo, bending the rules, making our own opportunities.
And we are not alone in this. We've got each other, and that's powerful.
I hope this deep dive got you thinking, gave you a new perspective. Remember, it starts in your head, seeing the world clearly, playing the game strategically, breaking the cycle.
It's about taking action, even if it's small steps. Build that momentum.
So what's your next move? What resource, what skill are you going to tap into? What connection will you leverage? Let us know. Until next time, keep pushing those boundaries, keep breaking free.